Stray Kids, when you hear that name, you immediately think of thunderous beats, chaotic dorm life, and a group of self-producing rebels who literally built their own path from scratch. They look unbreakable, right? A pack of wolves running wild on stage, shattering industry norms with every single comeback. But let's strip away the flashing lights, the screaming stadiums, and the flawless choreography for a second. Behind the loud, high-energy exterior lies a group of young men who have faced intense survival shows, painful departures, and the crushing weight of global expectations. We all know Bang Chan is the leader who carries the weight of the world on his shoulders, but who carries him? Who is the silent anchor holding the entire group together when the cameras stop rolling and the anxiety creeps in? Today, we are diving deep into the emotional architecture of Stray Kids to reveal the unsung pillars of their brotherhood. Prepare to look at these 8 members in a way you never have before, because the heart of this group might not beat where you think it does. Which member holds the secret key to their collective sanity, and who silently patches up the cracks in their armor? Let's find out. Number 8, In, the maknae's mask, the unseen shield of the Hyungs. When we look at the youngest member of Stray Kids, Yang Jeongin, or In, we see a bright, dimpled smile that can instantly light up the darkest room. He is the classic maknae on top who playfully teases his older brothers and gets away with almost anything because of his adorable charm. But if you look past the cute exterior and the playful banter, you will find an incredibly mature, resilient soul who has been quietly absorbing the emotional stress of the entire group since day one. Think back to 2017 during the grueling Stray Kids survival show. Jeongin was just a teenager, barely 16, constantly facing harsh criticisms about his vocals and stage presence. JY Park's words were sharp, and any normal kid would have broken down under that kind of national television pressure. But Jeongin did something extraordinary. He kept smiling. It wasn't a fake smile of indifference, but a deliberate shield he put up because he knew that if he cried, his older brothers would break. He saw how stressed Bang Chan was, how anxious Han and Hyunjin were, and he made a conscious decision to be the sunshine they needed, even when his own world was crumbling. There is a famous, heart-wrenching moment from the survival show where Jeongin finally let his walls down and cried in the bathroom, away from the cameras and his members, because he didn't want his sadness to drag the team's energy down. That level of emotional intelligence and selflessness at such a young age is incredibly rare. Even when Minyu and Felix were temporarily eliminated, Jeongin had to swallow his own immense grief to keep pushing forward, acting as a reminder of hope for the remaining members. As the years went by and Stray Kids skyrocketed to global fame, the pressure didn't disappear, it only magnified. Jeongin transitioned from the little brother who needed protection to the silent counselor his Hyungs turned to. Bang Chan has repeatedly mentioned how Jeongin's steady, unbothered presence gives him the strength to keep leading. When the older members are overwhelmed by anxiety or creative blocks, it is often Jeongin who sits with them, offering a quiet, non-judgmental space. He doesn't need to give long philosophical speeches. His power lies in his ability to listen and his rock-solid stability. He is the emotional reset button for the group. When Hyunjin was going through his toughest times, or when Han felt overwhelmed by his social anxiety, Jeongin's calm demeanor was a safe harbor. He has this uncanny ability to ground the chaotic energy of the older members, reminding them of who they are outside of the spotlight. His emotional resilience is born from a deep-seated inner strength that doesn't seek validation. He is comfortable in his own skin, and that comfort radiates outward, creating a stabilizing force for everyone around him. It is fascinating how the one who was supposed to be looked after became the one looking after the emotional well-being of the group. His maturity is not loud. It is woven into the small gestures, the quiet pats on the back, the silent hugs, and the way he keeps his own worries contained so he can be a reliable pillar for the others. He has learned to balance his own vulnerability with his role as the group's emotional stabilizer, proving that strength doesn't always wear a loud voice or a fierce expression. Sometimes it wears a gentle smile and a quiet heart that refuses to buckle under pressure. In a group filled with intense, passionate, and sometimes emotionally volatile creatives, Jeongin is the steady horizon line. He is the constant they can all look at to know they are safe. His presence is a reminder that no matter how wild the storm gets, they have a home to return to. During their grueling schedule for Kingdom, Legendary War, when the members were physically exhausted and mentally drained from producing complex performances week after week, Jeongin was the one who kept the atmosphere light. He would crack jokes, offer warm hugs, and show a mature focus that inspired the older members to keep their heads up. He has become a master of emotional containment, knowing exactly when to show vulnerability and when to be the unyielding wall. It makes you realize that his growth is not just about his vocal improvement or his visual transformation, but about the strengthening of his inner core. He has become the roots of the tree, keeping the branches from snapping when the wind blows too hard. And that is why Yang Jeongin is not just the cute maknae of Stray Kids. He is a silent, indispensable guardian of their hearts, a young man who chose to grow up fast so he could help carry the dreams of his brothers. As we look at how he holds the line, we begin to realize that the emotional structure of Stray Kids is built on these quiet sacrifices, making us wonder how much pressure this young man has truly absorbed over the years to keep his group standing strong. Number 7. Sumin, the calm analyst, the quiet heartbeat of the storm. If you ever need a definition of unwavering stability in the chaotic universe of Stray Kids, look no further than Kim Sumin. Known as the dandy boy, he often comes across as the clean-cut, witty and slightly sarcastic vocalist who keeps to himself and maintains a neat, organized lifestyle. He's the guy who loves baseball, never skips a vocal lesson, and always seems to have his life perfectly put together. In a group famous for its explosive performances and loud, unpredictable energy, Sumin can easily be misjudged as emotionally distant or overly focused on his craft. But that is exactly where the surprise lies. Sumin's emotional support isn't about grand gestures or tearful confessions. It is about absolute, unshakable consistency. In the K-pop industry, where mental health is constantly challenged by shifting schedules, intense public scrutiny, and the fear of sudden failure, consistency is a rare and precious form of emotional therapy. Sumin provides exactly that. He is the human equivalent of a lighthouse. No matter how wild the waves of anxiety are crashing around the group, Sumin remains standing, shining a steady, comforting light. His daily routines, his meticulous vocal logs, his constant practice, and his grounded lifestyle serve as a silent reassurance to the other members. When Han is struggling with his internal storms, or when Bang Chan is overwhelmed by the burden of production, Sumin is the constant. They look at him and realize that some things never change, and in a world of chaos, that realization is incredibly healing. He doesn't try to fix their problems with sweet words. Instead, he offers a realistic, clear-headed perspective that pulls them back from the edge of emotional spirals. He is the reality check they all need. There's a quiet strength in how he handles his own emotions. Sumin rarely cries in public. During their early days in the survival show, he was focused, almost stoic, channeling all his energy into perfecting his vocals. But this wasn't because he didn't feel the pain. It was because he understood that someone had to keep their feet on the ground. When he finally does let his tears fall, like at the end of their massive dome tour, it is always after the job is successfully done. He carries a profound sense of duty toward his brothers. He holds the line so they can feel free to express their emotions. Behind the scenes, the members often talk about how Sumin's dry, sharp wit is actually a form of affection that breaks tension. In moments of high stress before going on stage, a single sarcastic comment from Sumin can make the members laugh and instantly release their nerves. He is the master of emotional leveling. Furthermore, Sumin's dedication to his vocal growth is a source of inspiration that anchors the team's professional confidence. When the group faced vocal challenges or transitioned into more complex musical styles, Sumin's relentless pursuit of perfection became their safety net. They knew that as long as Sumin was anchoring the melody, they could push their boundaries. His emotional reliability is built on respect and boundaries. He doesn't crowd the members when they are down. Instead, he leaves a quiet, open door for them, letting them know he is there whenever they are ready to talk. This respectful distance is highly valued in a group that spends 24 hours a day together. Sumin's quiet observation allows him to notice when a member is quietly struggling, even when they are trying to hide it. He might not make a scene, but he will quietly adjust his behavior to accommodate them, whether it's sharing his food, offering a simple word of encouragement, or just sitting next to them in silence. In the grand tapestry of Stray Kids' brotherhood, if Bang Chan is the heart that pumps the blood, Sumin is the skeleton that keeps the body upright. His logic, his discipline, and his quiet loyalty create a safe space where the other members can afford to be vulnerable. He is the unsung anchor who proves that emotional strength doesn't have to be loud, dramatic, or tearful. Sometimes, the most powerful way to support someone is simply to be the one thing in their lives that never breaks, never fades, and never walks away. Sumin's steady presence is a testament to the fact that reliability is the ultimate form of love. And without his quiet, structured sanity, the chaotic brilliance of Stray Kids might have spun out of control long ago, leaving us to wonder how many times his silent discipline has saved the group from the brink of exhaustion. Number 6. Hyunjin, the sensitive mirror, the fire that warms the soul. When we think of Hwang Hyunjin, the image that instantly comes to mind is that of a fiery, dramatic, and incredibly expressive artist. He is the main dancer who commands the stage with sharp movements and intense gazes, a visual icon, and a creative who pours his soul into painting and songwriting. Because he is so openly emotional, often crying during concerts, wearing his heart on his sleeve, and expressing his thoughts with dramatic flair, he is rarely the first person people would label as an emotional backbone. In fact, many might view his sensitivity as a vulnerability that requires shielding from the other members. But this is where the narrative flips. Hyunjin's sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a profound, empathetic radar that helps keep Stray Kids emotionally honest. In a world where men, especially idol groups, are often conditioned to mask their struggles and put on a brave face, Hyunjin does the exact opposite. He is unapologetically raw. By showing his tears, his anxieties, and his artistic struggles, he acts as an emotional mirror for the rest of the group. He creates a safe environment where vulnerability is not taboo, but a normal part of the human experience. When Hyunjin is open about his feelings, it gives the other members, especially the quieter ones like Lee No or Sumin, the permission to acknowledge their own emotional fatigue. He is the one who will sit with a crying member and cry right along with them, not trying to offer quick fixes but validating their pain through shared tears. This ability to feel deeply and share that weight is a massive source of comfort in a high-stress environment. His journey through his 2021 hiatus is a testament to this emotional resilience. Instead of letting that dark period break him, Hyunjin channeled his pain into art, painting stunning canvases and writing deeply reflective music. When he returned, he brought back a mature, grounded empathy that strengthened the group's bond even further. His comeback wasn't just a return to the stage. It was an emotional reunion that solidified Stray Kids' resolve to stay together, no matter what. The members often talk about how Hyunjin's passion is infectious. He is fiercely protective of the group's unity. When they practice, his intense work ethic drives everyone forward, but his emotional warmth keeps them close. He is the member who writes letters, who gives deep hugs, and who publicly declares his love for the members without hesitation. This open affection acts as a binding agent for their brotherhood. He bridges the emotional gap between the older and younger members, using his intuitive understanding of people to diffuse silent tensions before they escalate. He notices the small changes in his members' expressions, a slight drop in energy, a forced smile, and is often the first to reach out, offering a listening ear or a comforting distraction. He's the emotional catalyst who ensures that the group doesn't become a cold, corporate machine. He reminds them that they are first and foremost a family. Without Hyunjin's raw, expressive heart, the emotional atmosphere of Stray Kids might have become too guarded or rigid. He teaches them that it is okay to bend, to cry, and to feel overwhelmed because that is how they stay human. His emotional strength lies in his courage to be fragile in a world that demands perfection, proving that sometimes, the strongest backbone is the one that is flexible enough to feel everything and still stand tall. His presence is a constant reminder that their shared vulnerability is their greatest superpower, leaving us to admire the depth of a young artist who refused to let the harsh spotlight harden his gentle, empathetic soul. Number 5. Han, the anxious genius, the silent safe haven. Han Jisung, or simply Han, is a whirlwind of talent. He is the ace of Stray Kids, an incredible rapper, a soulful vocalist, and one of the main producers alongside Bang Chan and Changbin in 3RACHA. On camera, he is often the chaotic, loud, and hilarious moodmaker who can imitate anime characters, crack jokes, and keep the energy levels at an all-time high. Yet he is also the member who has been the most open about his struggles with severe social anxiety, sometimes having to step away from public events or fan signs when the crowds become too overwhelming. Because of this public vulnerability and his naturally anxious temperament, many fans and casual observers might assume that Han is the one who constantly needs to be looked after and protected by his group mates. But if you look deeper into the psychological fabric of Stray Kids, you will discover that Han is actually one of the most vital emotional backbones of the team, offering a unique form of support that is deeply rooted in his profound empathy and emotional intelligence. Han's strength lies in his ability to articulate the darkest, most complicated human emotions and translate them into a shared comfort. When you listen to songs he has written, like Another Day, Alien, or Slump, you are hearing a raw confession of loneliness, insecurity, and the fear of not being good enough. For the members of Stray Kids who live under the constant pressure of the global spotlight, Han's music is a mirror of their own silent struggles. He puts into words the things they're too afraid or too tired to say out loud. By writing these songs, Han provides a collective therapeutic outlet for the group. He shows them that they are not alone in their anxiety, creating an unspoken bond of mutual understanding. Beyond his music, Han's emotional maturity is evident in his interpersonal relationships within the group. His connection with Lee No is a prime example. Lee No is notoriously guarded, hiding his affection behind a tsundere exterior and dark humor. Yet Han is the one who easily breaks through those walls, offering Lee No a safe space where he doesn't have to be the tough older brother. Han's presence allows the other members to let their guard down. He is an exceptional listener. When Bang Chan is carrying the heavy burden of leadership, Han is often the one he goes to for a sanity check. Because Han understands the creative process so intimately, he can validate Chan's frustrations and anxieties like no one else can. Han's humor is also a deliberate tool. He uses his chaotic energy not just for entertainment, but as an active defense mechanism to diffuse tension in the room. When he senses that the atmosphere is getting too heavy or that a member is spiraling into self-doubt, he will deliberately act silly to distract them and make them laugh. It is a selfless act of emotional regulation. He absorbs the tension and converts it into laughter, even when he himself might be feeling anxious inside. His emotional resilience is not about being fearless. It is about facing his fears head-on and still choosing to be a source of light for others. He teaches the members that having anxiety doesn't make you weak, and that you can still be a pillar of support for your friends even while fighting your own internal battles. In the high-pressure world of K-pop, where perfection is demanded and weakness is criticized, Han's authenticity is a breath of fresh air that keeps Stray Kids grounded in reality. He is the anchor that reminds them of their humanity, proving that the most profound strength often comes from the most sensitive hearts, leaving us to wonder how many times his quiet understanding has kept the group from falling apart under the weight of their own expectations. Number 4. Felix, the radiant shield, the healing touch of pure love. Felix, also known by his Korean name Yongbok, is widely recognized as the ultimate sunshine of Stray Kids. With his ethereal looks, freckles, and a speaking voice that contrasts deeply with his sweet personality, he is the embodiment of pure warmth. He is the member who bakes cookies and brownies for the members and staff, hands out handwritten letters, and offers hugs to anyone who looks like they need one. Because of his gentle, almost angelic demeanor, it is easy for people to think of Felix as someone who is fragile. He moved from Australia to Korea without knowing the language, struggled deeply during the survival show, and was even eliminated at one point, which broke the hearts of his members and fans alike. It is natural to look at him as someone who needs to be protected from the harsh realities of the music industry. However, Felix's soft exterior hides an incredibly resilient, proactive emotional backbone. His contribution to the group's emotional well-being is not passive. It is an active, fierce campaign of love. In an industry that can be cold, competitive, and transactional, Felix's unconditional affection acts as a protective shield for Stray Kids. He doesn't wait for members to ask for help. He senses their emotional drops and immediately steps in with physical comfort. The members often talk about how Felix's hugs are not just polite gestures but genuine sources of healing. He has this unique ability to make anyone feel completely safe and loved in his presence. When Felix was eliminated during the survival show, his immediate concern wasn't his own ruined dream, but the pain it caused his brothers, particularly Bang Chan. He spent his sleepless nights practicing his Korean and his dancing, refusing to give up not just for himself, but so he could stand beside them again. That selflessness became a core pillar of Stray Kids' identity once he was brought back. His return solidified the group's belief that they are only complete when they are together. Furthermore, Felix's acts of service, like his famous baking, are essential emotional touchstones for the group. During grueling promotions and sleepless nights in the studio, the small package of brownies baked by Felix represents home, comfort, and safety. It reminds the members that they are cared for as human beings, not just as idols. Felix also possesses a quiet, stoic endurance. In 2022, when he was diagnosed with a herniated disc that severely restricted his ability to perform, he was in immense physical pain and emotional frustration. Yet during broadcasts and concerts, he kept his smile bright, constantly reassuring the members and fans that he was okay, actively managing the atmosphere so that his injury wouldn't cast a shadow over their achievements. He carries his own burdens with a grace that inspires everyone around him. He is the emotional glue that softens the sharp edges of their chaotic lives. His empathy is boundless. When a member is down, Felix is the one who will quietly sit next to them, rub their back, and stay there for hours without needing to say a word. He understands that sometimes the best emotional support is simply presence. Without Felix's radiant, active love, Stray Kids might have survived the industry, but they wouldn't have remained as close-knit and emotionally healthy as they are today. He proves that gentleness is a form of supreme strength, and that choosing to love openly and vulnerably in a harsh world is the most courageous thing a person can do, leaving us to marvel at how a boy who once lost his place in the group became the very light that guides them through their darkest days. Number 3. Changbin, the strong protector, the unyielding foundation of trust. Seo Changbin, with his muscular physique, sharp jawline, and incredibly intense, lightning-fast rap style, initially projected a dark, aggressive image. During their debut era, he was the guy chanting "I love dark," wearing black eyeliner and looking like someone you wouldn't want to cross in a dark alley. Even today, he's the powerhouse of the group's sound, producing hard-hitting beats and spitting fire on stage. Because of this tough, masculine exterior, casual observers might not expect him to be the emotional sanctuary of the group. They might see him as the muscle, the producer, or the loud comedian who loves to tease his members. But within the internal ecosystem of Stray Kids, Changbin is arguably the most psychologically stable and solid foundation the group has. He is the ultimate anchor. While other members might experience high emotional peaks and deep valleys of anxiety, Changbin remains remarkably level-headed, possessing a level of self-esteem and emotional security that is extremely rare in the entertainment industry. He is the one who holds the keys to the group's mental resilience. Bang Chan, the leader, has openly stated multiple times that he relies on Changbin more than anyone else. As a fellow member of 3RACHA, Changbin doesn't just share the burden of writing and producing their discography, he shares the crushing weight of leadership. When Chan is drowning in stress and self-doubt, Changbin is the one who pulls him back to reality, offering logical, clear, and reassuring counsel. He is the only member who can challenge Chan's workaholic tendencies and force him to rest. Changbin's emotional strength lies in his healthy sense of self-worth, which he actively uses to build up the confidence of the other members. In an industry where young boys are constantly comparing themselves to others, Changbin teaches his brothers to love themselves. He famously coined the philosophy of having yutdi, meaning having a strong backbone and staying true to oneself. When Hyunjin was struggling with his dancing or Seungmin was feeling insecure about his vocals, Changbin was the one reminding them of their unique value. He doesn't offer superficial praise, his encouragement is grounded in genuine belief and respect. Behind his boisterous, loud persona, Changbin is an incredibly attentive listener and a skilled communicator. He has an intuitive understanding of the group's social dynamics. If there is a disagreement or silent tension between members, Changbin is the one who initiates conversations to resolve it, ensuring that minor misunderstandings don't fester into deep-seated resentment. He uses his humor as a social lubricant, deliberately playing the fool or letting himself be the butt of the joke to ease the pressure on others. Yet when the situation demands seriousness, he transitions instantly into a wise, mature older brother. His physical warmth matches his emotional warmth. He is highly affectionate, frequently hugging the members and letting them lean on him, quite literally. He is the safe space where the members can show their vulnerabilities without fear of judgment. Changbin's resilience is not a shield of emotionless steel, it is a living, breathing maturity that understands when to stand firm and when to show gentleness. He is the structural pillar that keeps the roof of the house from collapsing, providing the stability they all need to create, perform, and live freely. Without Changbin's rock-solid mental strength, the emotional pressure of their rapid rise to global stardom could have fractured the group's unity. He proves that true strength is not about acting tough on the outside, but about having a heart so secure that it can hold the anxieties of 7 other people and still have room to laugh, leaving us to admire the heavy metal rapper who became the ultimate protector of his family's peace. Number 2, Bang Chan, a selfless father, the shield that never folds. Bang Chan, the leader, the composer, the older brother, and the founder of Stray Kids. In the K-pop universe, he is legendary for his leadership. Having trained for 7 long years at JYP Entertainment, watching his peers debut while he remained in the shadows, Chan developed an extraordinary sense of responsibility. When he was finally given the chance to form his own group, he didn't just accept a lineup handed to him by executives, he handpicked every single member himself. Because of this, his relationship with the group is deeply paternal and protective. Naturally, anyone looking at Stray Kids expects Bang Chan to be their emotional backbone. He is the leader, after all. It is literally in his job description. But what makes his role as the backbone unexpected is the sheer terrifying scale of his self-sacrifice and the unique servant-style leadership he employs. Chan does not lead from a pedestal, he leads from the trenches. His emotional support is not about giving orders but about acting as a human shield for his members. Since their pre-debut days, Chan has carried the weight of the entire group's destiny on his shoulders. During the survival show, when JY Park threatened to eliminate his friends, Chan didn't just feel bad, he felt personally responsible. When Minyu and Felix were eliminated, Chan broke down in tears, apologizing to them, feeling that his leadership had failed them. This set the tone for how he would protect them for the rest of their careers. He takes the hits so his members don't have to. When Stray Kids faces criticism, creative blocks, or industry pressure, Chan quietly steps forward to absorb the blows, shielding the younger members from the toxic aspects of the idol world. He's notorious for his workaholic habits, spending endless nights in the studio, surviving on minimal sleep, all to ensure that the music they release represents their true colors. For the members, knowing that Chan is awake, working, and guarding their dreams is a massive source of emotional security. He is their ultimate safety net. His emotional support is also deeply personal. He created Chan's Room, a weekly live broadcast, not just to connect with fans but to create a space where he could process his own thoughts, which in turn helped the members see that it was okay to show vulnerability. However, the emotional backbone is not one way. Chan's emotional strength is fueled entirely by the happiness of his members. He has famously said that as long as his kids are happy, healthy, and successful, he doesn't care about his own comfort or recognition. This level of selflessness is both inspiring and heartbreaking. The members often express worry about him, urging him to eat, sleep, and take care of himself. This creates a beautiful, reciprocal emotional dynamic. By showing his members his absolute dedication, they in turn step up to support him. Chan's emotional backbone role is unexpected because it is entirely self-imposed and carried out with a humility that is rare for someone of his talent and status. He refuses to take credit for their massive global success, always directing the spotlight back to the other 7 members. He is the roots of their tree buried deep in the dark, working tirelessly so that the branches can bear beautiful fruit in the sun. Without Bang Chan's protective, self-sacrificing soul, Stray Kids would not exist. He didn't just build a group, he built a family, and he remains the ultimate guardian who stands at the gate, keeping the wolves away so his brothers can sing, dance, and dream without fear, leaving us to wonder how one man can possess a heart large enough to carry the hopes of millions while keeping his 7 brothers safe in his embrace. Number 1. Lee No, the tsundere guardian, the hidden anchor of the Stray Pack. If you ask any casual fan of Stray Kids to describe Lee No, they will likely use words like unpredictable, savage, weird, or tsundere. He is the guy who jokingly threatens to pack his members into a bundle and throw them in the Han River. He is famous for his chaotic, cat-like personality, his blunt honesty, and his refusal to engage in cheesy emotional displays. When he was eliminated during the survival show, it was a devastating moment that shook the entire group to its core, showing how much they already valued him. Yet because he hides his heart behind a thick wall of sarcasm, playful threats, and bizarre humor, he is the absolute last person anyone would expect to be the emotional backbone of Stray Kids. But if you talk to the members themselves, they will tell you a completely different story. Lee No is the silent anchor, the second in command who holds the group together when the weight of leadership becomes too heavy for Bang Chan alone. His emotional support is not loud, dramatic, or sentimental. It is practical, consistent, and fiercely loyal. As the dance leader, Lee No carries a massive responsibility. He is the one who refines their performances, ensuring that their stage presence is flawless. In the practice room, he is strict and professional, providing a solid structure that the members can rely on when they are physically and mentally exhausted. But his care extends far beyond dance routines. Lee No is the resident caregiver of Stray Kids. He expresses his love through actions, not words. He is the one who cooks elaborate meals for the members, feeds them, and makes sure they are taking care of their health. When a member is sick or injured, Lee No doesn't make a big public scene about it. Instead, he quietly leaves medicine in their room, adjusts the choreography to protect their injury, or cooks something easy for them to digest. He is incredibly observant, noticing the smallest shifts in a member's mood or physical condition before anyone else does. When Bang Chan is overwhelmed by his responsibilities as a leader, it is Lee No who steps up to share the load. Chan has repeatedly praised Lee No for being his rock, the one who takes charge when Chan needs to step back. Lee No's tsundere persona is actually his way of protecting both himself and the members. By keeping things light and humorous, he prevents the atmosphere from becoming too heavy or tense. His savage remarks are often a tool to break the ice and bring the members back down to earth when they are overthinking. He has this uncanny ability to make people feel grounded just by being normal and steady. Beyond the group, Lee No's hidden warmth is reflected in his personal life. He silently sponsors children in need through UNICEF and cares deeply for his 3 rescued cats. He has a heart of gold that he refuses to boast about. He does good deeds in the shadows, expecting nothing in return. During their hardest times, like when they had to adapt to sudden changes or intense schedules, Lee No's practical, no-nonsense attitude was the glue that kept them focused. He teaches his brothers that love is a verb. It is something you do, not just something you say. He is the ultimate protector who doesn't need recognition, content to watch his brothers shine from the background while he quietly ensures their foundation is solid. He is the one who ensures that their chaotic energy is balanced by a sense of duty and reality, which is essential for survival in the entertainment industry. This quiet, active devotion is what makes him the most unexpected, yet most vital emotional backbone of Stray Kids. He proves that the people who seem the most guarded are often the ones who care the most deeply, and that true strength is found not in words of comfort, but in the silent, daily acts of service that build a home. At the end of the day, the magic of Stray Kids lies in how their emotional backbones lock together like a perfectly engineered puzzle. We've seen how IN protects them with his silent smile, how Seungmin keeps them grounded with his steady logic, and how Hyunjin opens their hearts with his raw artistic sensitivity. We've witnessed Han translating their anxiety into healing music, Felix shielding them with unconditional love, Changbin providing the unshakable foundation of self-worth, Bang Chan sacrificing his sleep to shield their dreams, and finally, Lee No quietly holding the fort with his practical, unspoken devotion. No single member has to carry the emotional weight of Stray Kids alone because they have built a system of shared strength. They are not just a group, they are a living, breathing emotional ecosystem where every member plays a vital role in keeping the others standing. That is the real reason they are unbreakable, and that is the true story behind the Brotherhood of Stray Kids.